What if I told you the key to rebuilding your life, your business, or your community was hidden in a 2,500-year-old story? One man faced a city in ruins, a demoralized people, and enemies on all sides, yet he succeeded where every leader before him had failed. This isn't just an old story. It's a masterclass in leadership. Welcome to the Scripture Analyst. Today, we're breaking down the strategic genius of Nehemiah. Imagine this. It's the 5th century BC. Jerusalem, the heart of the Jewish nation, is a wasteland. For over a century, its walls have been rubble, leaving the people vulnerable and shamed. Multiple attempts to rebuild have been crushed by local enemies and political opposition. It seemed hopeless. Then, a man named Nehemiah, a cupbearer to the most powerful king on earth, Artaxerxes of Persia, hears the news. Instead of just feeling sad, he decides to act. This is where our strategic analysis begins. Let's look at Nehemiah's first key decision: secure executive buy-in. Before Nehemiah even thought about laying a single stone, he spent months in prayer and planning. When the king finally asked him why he was so sad, Nehemiah was ready. He didn't just ask for permission to go. He presented a full project proposal. He requested letters of safe passage and a royal grant for timber from the king's own forest. The strategy here is brilliant. He leveraged his position of trust to gain not just permission, but resources and political cover from the highest authority. He turned the king from a potential obstacle into his project's primary sponsor. The leadership lesson: before you launch a major initiative, do your homework. Secure the buy-in of key stakeholders. Don't just ask for a green light. Ask for the resources and support you need to guarantee success. Your preparation can turn gatekeepers into your greatest allies. Once in Jerusalem, Nehemiah makes his second crucial decision: conduct a covert assessment. He didn't announce his arrival with a big speech. Instead, under the cover of night, he secretly surveyed the broken walls himself. He needed to understand the full scope of the disaster without alerting his enemies or overwhelming his own people. The strategy was to gather first-hand intelligence before forming a plan. He wasn't relying on second-hand reports. He was getting his own eyes on the problem. This allowed him to speak with authority and create a realistic plan. In modern life, this is your due diligence. Before you try to fix a problem in your family, career, or community, assess the situation quietly and thoroughly. Understand the terrain before you draw the map. Don't act on assumptions, act on accurate, first-hand information. With a plan in hand, Nehemiah executes his third strategic move: cast a compelling vision and delegate responsibility. Now he was ready to speak. He gathered the leaders and citizens of Jerusalem. He didn't just say, "Let's build a wall." He connected the project to their identity, their security, and their honor. He said, "You see the trouble we are in. Come, let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem, and we will no longer be in disgrace." He gave them a powerful why. Then, instead of trying to manage everything himself, he divided the massive project into smaller, manageable sections. He assigned each section of the wall to a specific family or group, often the part right in front of their own homes. The strategy: create shared ownership. By giving people a personal stake in the outcome, he transformed a public works project into a personal mission. The lesson for us is clear: to motivate a team, connect the work to a larger purpose. Then, empower them by giving them clear ownership of their part of the mission. People will work harder and smarter when they feel the project is truly theirs. But success breeds opposition. Nehemiah's enemies, Sanballat and Tobiah, began to ridicule and threaten the workers. This leads to Nehemiah's fourth, and perhaps most brilliant, decision: integrate defense with development. The people were terrified. Morale was plummeting. An ordinary leader might have paused construction to deal with the threat. Nehemiah did something extraordinary. He armed the builders. He famously instructed, "From that day on, half of my men did the work, while the other half were equipped with spears, shields, bows, and armor." Those who carried materials did their work with one hand and held a weapon in the other. The strategy was to refuse to choose between progress and protection. He maintained momentum while neutralizing the threat. He didn't let crisis derail the mission. This is a powerful lesson in resilience. When you face setbacks, criticism, or opposition in your own life, don't stop moving forward. Don't let fear paralyze you. The key is to adapt. Find a way to protect your progress and keep building, even if it means working with a tool in one hand and a shield in the other. In a stunning 52 days, the wall was finished. A task that had been impossible for over 140 years was completed in less than 2 months. So what's the one memorable takeaway from Nehemiah's success? It's this: purpose-driven leadership turns obstacles into opportunities. Nehemiah didn't just have a plan, he had a purpose. This purpose fueled his preparation, his courage, and his resilience. He saw a pile of rubble not as an ending, but as the foundation for a new beginning. He saw a demoralized people not as a liability, but as the very workforce that would restore their own dignity. So, look at the broken walls in your own life, the failed project, the strained relationship, the stagnant career. Stop seeing them as a source of disgrace. With the right strategy, the right team, and an unstoppable purpose, that area of ruin can become the site of your greatest comeback story. Thanks for watching the Scripture Analyst. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit that like button and subscribe for more strategic analysis of ancient wisdom. See you next time.